One thing that all important men learn. Respecting people early isn't something you ask for. It's something you breathe. You stand up for your limits and say no without blinking in. The women don't keep their promises, so be strong in silence and bring it with you everywhere. They don't care about nice words. They care about the man who stands firm. Most guys lose their woman when it's not fun for them. Not when they stop caring about her, but when they stop being respected. One quiet deal at a time, it happens slowly. One small loss of honor until the guy she used to admire her becomes a shadow of himself. You don't lose respect when someone takes a big fall. It's slowly by putting up with things you swore you'd never do, but now do. That circle is over now. You don't need respect. And start living it. Here are 5 things I want to tell you. A man must set in order to protect his woman, not to confine or control her, but to guard the only thing that matters, your soul. If you want to take back the leave a comment below if you want to know which one I picked. Respect, because from now on, you don't just ask for it. You give it. Let's go. Start with number 1. Never reward one. Do not reward disrespect. Every man has to make a quiet choice at some point. He can either shields or takes away his honor, not with a scream or a fight, but with when someone shrugs and stays quiet. It's not often disrespectful. It hits you like a punch in the face and creeps up on you like a whisper. When someone turns their back on you, you laugh it off, say it's nothing, and swallow it. Because you don't want to make a fuss. And as soon as you admit it, you teach her something important that you can shape, that you're... At that point, you don't have to stick to any rules to keep her love. You lose her respect. And when respect dies, love dies too. It doesn't matter how faithful you are or how many gifts you bring for how long. No matter how long you've been together, a woman can't stay interested in a man she doesn't respect. She can tell as soon as you put your happiness before hers. Principle, the second you let her put you down and act like it didn't happen. Respect isn't something you can get back with a big gesture. It's something you keep safe in the little times you don't see. Whenever you say, calmly, it's clear that we can't go any further. If you don't just lose her heart if you put up with her. You become less sharp, and a man who doesn't have an edge is mostly likely to forget. Disrespect doesn't always come dressed as who he really is. When it's angry, it often wears a quieter mask. The way she rolls her eyes every time you speak is what bothers me. When you talk about your dreams, it's the casual similarities to other people's. It's the silence after you set that makes you question yourself, man. A limit. The kind of quiet that hurts you. Jokes she tells you about how brave you are to stand up straight, cost you money to laugh about it with friends while you act like you don't see the cut. A lot of guys miss these times because they think it's just her being herself. Even if she was upset or didn't mean it, don't be fooled. Every small hit you explain is you give her a plan that shows her exactly how to lower your worth. She doesn't need to yell at you. She just wants you to put down your pride. Once or twice until you become a man. Teach you so she doesn't worry about losing you anymore. People will know how to treat you not through words, but through silence. There are deals you make with yourself every time you don't speak up when you should have. Disrespect rarely starts as a landslide. It starts as a crack, a very small break that gets bigger as time goes on. And the longer you wait, the more it shapes who you are. A man who doesn't have clear lines will soon forget where he is. Stands for when rudeness is shown in any way, no matter how small. In the future, most men will react and claim that ask them to explain why they should get better. But the man in charge says no. Respect doesn't react, he replies, and his answer is easy to understand. He corrects the behavior only once, so it's not loud or emotional. Clear, cool words. No anger, don't talk to me that way again. Should it happen again, he doesn't beg or explain. He just leaves, not out of anger. But because he respects himself, the man who lets one let attack slide, and 1,000 more will come. When you say it's okay to be rude, you show the world what you're ready to change. Your pride for comfort. But when you stand your ground softly and firmly, you turn into a unique thing Your voice sounds better when you're there. Shifts. People can feel it before you speak, and those who respect strength will. The ones you want to keep get closer, and the ones you don't should fall away. You're not here to make everyone like you. You're here to be admired. People who matter don't give up in anger or fear. A quiet, unwavering sense of your own worth rather than a sense of pride. That's how you stop encouraging rudeness and start making a life for yourself. Only those who deserve to be there can get in. 2. Keep the peace. Peace. Every man has to make a choice at some point in his life. He made a choice that will affect the rest of his life in a quiet but important way. Will he go after the world or protect his peace? Know that this peace is not something you find by accident. It's not given to you automatically. Whether by chance or fate, peace is something you watch out like your life depends on it, because it does. A man without peace wakes up already behind him, and he responds to every insult he hears. Tells people who don't believe in him who he is, and rushes to fix things that were never his to fix. He does shows every day for people who wouldn't care if he broke down. Tomorrow for women who test him, for friends who wear him down, for a world that praises his tiredness with empty cheers that aren't real. Peace is life that's surviving. Real peace comes when you don't have to use to protect yourself. When you walk into a room and shift, you protect yourself with noise. You deal with disrespect, not with anger, but with a sense of what the situation is worth. When you're not there, you pick quiet over chaos and clarity over it's a mess. But most guys lose their peace like water through cracked every time they fight with someone who isn't worth it, every time they sent a rude message, every time they said yes out of, they feel guilty, every time they cause chaos just to feel less. Every little leak takes away a little bit of who they are until there is only you can't build a kingdom on a hollow man who wears a mask of who he used to be. A weak base. You can't build a friendship on a soul in pain. You can't earn respect when you're desperate for rest, and peace are the foundations on which you build everything else. They are the unseen armor that keeps you safe from life's storms, and women can feel it right away. They can tell when your mind is all over the place, your time is short, and their lines aren't clear and they don't like it. Fall more deeply in love with it, they feel weak, and they have to. Women don't respect men who need to be in charge. Lead. Keeping your peace means not letting noise bother you, not because you're angry or scared, but because you've planned your life on purpose. You pick and choose who you let into it, gets access to you and watches what you do, what you read, and what you say. For fun, you constantly ask yourself, does this keep my peace or do not poison it? If it does, it will not go. No, there is no reason, no second chances, and no exciting ending. Gone. You don't need to prove your worth or fight for respect anymore. You stop trying to get approval that was never yours in the first place, because a calm man doesn't try to stop chaos. Instead, he stands still so that chaos trips over him. To reach him, you wake up. Not for fame, but because the quiet hours are your safe place. You work out your body not for looks, but for health. Because order in the physical world helps the mind stay clear. You clean your room not to. You don't want to impress anyone because you won't let chaos live in your thoughts. You walk by yourself sometimes, not because you're lonely, but because a man at peace likes being alone more than background noise. You say no to. You let ignored texts stay unanswered, which means you let people misunderstand you. You don't rush to protect yourself. Instead, you let them wonder who you are. Let them talk because you're quiet while they talk about other people. You're building while they're questioning you. You're making while they're falling. If a woman tries you with drama and silence, you should know this. Quick withdrawal. She's not trying to hurt you. She's just trying to find your center. As she pulls at your roots, she leans against your walls to see if they fall down. Check to see if you can stand and if you flinch every time she pokes you. But if you stay still and hold the silence longer than she does. Confusion. If you only answer when you want to, you don't just protect your peace that you send out into the world. And she will either rise to meet you or she will fall apart no matter what, because without love, friendship, or work, if you lose yourself trying to hold on to praise, it's not worth giving up your soul for. What's the point of loving someone if you haven't won them over? If your life is on the line, protect your peace, like a man protects his kingdom without saying sorry or giving in without loud enough to bother people who live in places where chaos is so real that the wrong people run away, while the right ones are pulled to you like magnets. Live this way everything you used to do to get attention and approval. When people start to admire and respect you, you become the most sought-after guy in the room. Doesn't need everyone to see him to know peace is important, and once you have it, you'll never trade it for anything else. Love not to be liked, not for third. Don't share too much. 3. Don't tell too many people. You should keep some of yourself hidden from her so she doesn't see the whole you. To make a link more interesting, women don't want to know. No matter what they say, they want to know everything about you, not jump into its deep pit every day. They want to feel how heavy you are. You won't be asked to lift it when you give every thought, every fear, every old you stop being her too soon after getting hurt. Women don't fall in love with you when you start to become her project. Projects that they like guys who can carry their loads. Men who are quiet and slowly show themselves, like a sunrise you've been taught to let your beauty shine through endlessly, to show how you feel as proof of trust. But let's be honest. How often did that make her admire you more? Did her eyes light up? Brighter when you told her about your worries? Did she lean in closer when you cried? Your worries? Or did a small thing change? Where she could not see you, and no longer saw you as her guardian but as another guy she had to save, and no woman wants to save she wants to lean on you, man. Having feelings doesn't make you weak or bleed. Getting them out of the way whenever possible shows that a respectable man cares deeply. But with care, he never throws his personal problems at her feet and expects her to pick them up. Carry what is his on his shoulder, he takes it in. Pain slowly and steadily with only patience if important, because being strong isn't about not feeling anything. It's about being able to feel without getting off balance. When you show every corner of your soul too soon, you make emotional mess. There is chaos. She doesn't know where to stand or what part to play. She starts to feel suffocated by your openness instead of safe around it. It makes her naturally pull away, not because she's mean, but because she doesn't want to carry the full weight of another person. Respected men show who they are in small ways like by opening small windows into their souls. Aren't full plans. They lead with presence, explanations. They don't try to connect through confession. Instead, they do it through consistency, through silence that makes her feel closer to you. Want to change your relationships, then treat your story like a gem and not like a brochure that you hand out. Let her earn the right to know you before she can talk to anyone else. When she asks a question, let her interest draw you in. Answer quickly, but only enough to add to the mystery. You're not hiding because you're afraid. By keeping polarity, you keep the energy that keeps desire alive. Talking isn't what most guys think it is. They think if she knows, she stays where she is and doesn't leave because she doesn't know enough. Leaves because there isn't anything else to find. The end of attraction is certainty. This isn't that. This is a mastery strategy, vulnerability to manipulation. Because you have mental restraint, you don't speak every time. You talk when it helps your way, but you don't share when you're uncomfortable. You talk about your wounds to get people to feel sorry for you, and your wins to motivate them. Trust that you won't break every crack you open slowly, on purpose, like a morning that doesn't ask for anything but changes anyway. Because of everything you do, You become the rare man she respects and likes because you're not looking for approval. You're projecting confidence. No one else can work on your peace project. It's not a group project. When you talk too soon in a discussion, you lose power. When you share all of your worries, you lose power. You give other people tools to use against you, and every time you speak, you feel what you do turns into noise instead of a warning. Learn how to be present, sit with your feelings, and write down your storms. Move from stillness to uncertainty to action, and build an emotional fortress, one that only the worthy can get into when you finally show it. It's not to bother other people. It's to give them a glimpse of something. Rare strength. You don't dump your pain on other people. Showing how tough you are, you don't give up. You let. That's how you become stronger, slowly, like a light over a world that's asleep. Not how much you talk, but how much you carry with you in silent strength. The less you say, the more they lean in, and the less you try to get acceptance. That's because in a world full of guys who want to be seen, the he is the man they never thought they would see. Calm, strong, and quiet. Do not worry about number 4. 4. No reaction to feelings. Being reactively skilled doesn't mean you stop feeling. It just means you stop letting your real control isn't letting your thoughts decide what you do. Being cold, having depth, and being able to feel everything but only react to what it matters, a man who is quickly swayed by other people's words, looks, or actions. Pulling away hasn't yet reached the source of his power, and the world doesn't know it. Whether the media wants you to react or not, they poke you. Your friends poke fun at you and women test you because a response shows weakness in motion. When you act, you give your soul's driving wheel to someone else, you say. Let me know what to do. Someone who pushes the hardest has seen it happen. You feel calm, then her voice changes. A little, she says something that is a bit sarcastic. Without saying a word, she pulls her energy away, and your stomach starts to hurt. Twists your thoughts and makes your words run after hers like the wind is trying to catch water in this dash. Reactivity is when your mental world isn't your own anymore. As soon as she feels like she can, it's like a doll on strings she can't see. If you move her around, her respect for you starts to rot. Slowly and quietly for good, not because she's mean, but you change into a leaf because she doesn't trust you to be the rock anymore. She feels safe emotionally in the storm, not on the rock below her feet. Shutting down is not the point. Though you're feeling every wave, you have to choose which ones deserve your attention. Action. It's about facing the scared part of yourself when someone doesn't like that, flinches when someone pulls away from that quickly, to fix, to chase, to beg, and say, you don't get to lead anymore. You have to watch your urges. Pay attention to what sets you off. Sit with the stress, and let silence do its thing. Scrambling could never show who really stands on steady. Ground the space between the stimulus and the reaction that kings are born in pauses. You don't act out or explain yourself. Don't go after energy that is running away. Instead, stand, watch, and wait, because success isn't loud, isn't quiet, isn't calm. It's the quiet presence that, I pick my fights, when a woman tries you, when your boss asks you a question, when a stranger, if someone treats you badly, you don't break down. You don't move, you stay put. And in that stillness, something shifts. She doesn't just calm down, she melts. Because in a world where men give up at the first sign of trouble, the man who stands tall is, it still stands out, but you can't fake this. Stay calm. You can't just put it on top of your boiling fear. You have to dig more deeply. Face your impatience and your dread of abandonment. Own them. Take away their weapons, and face the fact that you need to explain yourself. Are no longer touched by every emotional pull you feel in the words you read. See the fear behind the anger, hear the fear behind the anger, silence, and you don't react, you stay clear tough, you don't need to say anything else, and you don't need to explain your character. To those who aren't qualified to judge it, You guard your energy like a king. If someone wants your attention, they have to come right up. No, not much noise, no drama, and no chaos. This quiet strength changes everything. The people who used to bother you get angry because you. No people who want peace start to circle you because you no longer dance to their chaos. Calm brings clarity, and clarity pushes calm away. To avoid confusion, you talk less, move more slowly, look more closely, and don't react to what you see. You don't follow her when she pulls away because of her mood swings. When you're misread, you don't have to rush to explain yourself. Her storms no longer rock. In its place, you become the safe haven she didn't even know she was not. Because you fixed her, but because you didn't let yourself get lost. This kind of man does well in life because most men are slaves to their. They say it's love, but they burn bridges and pick. They get into fights, fall apart over stories, and look for approval. But you come out of chaos like it's below you because you walk through storms without getting hurt. You get over being betrayed without a fuss. People tell lies about you, and you stay. Being quiet because the truth doesn't scare you is doubted and ghosted. Being criticized, but you still move forward quietly and strongly. Being emotionally stable means you don't have to hand over your fate to the mood you're in at the time. You pick your way with calm. Your kingdom will be more disciplined, one solid wall at a time. When you do that, you become the man. The world can't move because you're not led by. If you feel like you're being led by reason number 5, always be ready to 5. Always be ready to leave. Leave. There are times when staying is worse than leaving. Many guys stay in toxic jobs even though they know they shouldn't. People keep bonds alive even though they don't believe in them because they're afraid of what's next. On the other side, the unknown hurts more than the pain they already know. So they shrink. They smile and say, "It's not that bad." Little by little, they fall apart. But the brave man who walks, he doesn't stay for comfort. He stays for harmony, and when the second alignment goes away, so does he. This isn't about being careless. It's about being true to your morals and to your heart, ladies. They can also tell if you're sticking because you're hooked. To get her attention or because she really gives your life peace and purpose. Life tests those who cling all the time. Those who stand their ground are tested all the time. Is respected because a man who is ready to leave pushes everyone to follow him. To treat him differently, he hasn't asked for anything yet. Walks away from everything because you love yourself more than the fear of starting. You can say, "I love you" over it, but I'm not going to lie to you for you. It's not cold. Holy is a man who won't sell his soul for company. And when you live like this, lets the wrong people go and lets the right ones come in. Not because you're chasing them, but because of your own weight. Changes. You stop trying to explain yourself and be respected. You stop. You know how valuable peace is and aren't waiting for other people to agree with you. You know that safety zones cost more than any short-term pleasure, are nothing but fancy cages, and you refuse to live true strength that is locked up, isn't loud or angry. Real strength is being able to leave without making a fuss when, if something hurts your heart, it's picking peace over war. Goal of familiarity over validation standards over temporary happiness. If you want to change your life, start doing this and be ready to quit any job, any friend, any relationship, a situation that forces you to be less than who you are all the time yourself. You get stronger, you find more peace, and life begins. Changing the man. You were the one who gave in, begged, and settled. He disappears, and the man who's left doesn't try to get attention. Not give up when things get tough. Instead, he sharpens his soul in silence. He doesn't scream for approval, he just becomes obvious. Simply being alive doesn't mean you were born to kneel for love or pay attention. You were born to be quiet. Calmly and firmly, respect isn't given. It's earned by how you live. So leave when you need to leave, even if leaving hurts. Don't say sorry. Your soul was never meant to. If this word spoke to you, live in chains. it was meant to soar. Tell a man who needs to remember how valuable he is about it. Leave a comment. I choose my soul over comfort because when you back this up movement, you're not only making this channel bigger, you're also helping another man find the strength to walk again with pride.